Every morning the world starts quietly, one soft light at a time. Homes flicker awake, shops open. People take those first small steps into a brand new day. And in all of that ordinary movement, there's something kind of extraordinary. A moment worth noticing, a spark you feel before you even name it. Sometimes it's quiet, sometimes it's small, but kindness shows up right on time. And every morning we choose to show up with you so we can look for that spark together.
Good morning. I'm Matt Roof, the Uncommon Kindness Guy, and this is Kindness Rising. Let's rise together.
Good morning, friends. Mike Sullivan, Adam Holroyd, thank you for joining. As always, happy Tuesday morning to you guys. I hope everybody's having a great day. And we are continuing our conversation today about resilience, how we take the hits that life delivers and still find a way forward. Yesterday, we talked about reality, the fact that the challenge is part of the journey. And today we are going to go deeper because often the biggest factor in resilience isn't the obstacle itself. It's the story we tell ourselves about it. So let's rise.
This is Kindness Rising.
Okay, looks like we're struggling over there on LinkedIn again today. I got to figure that out at some point. But I hope everyone is having a great day. Welcome to Kindness Rising. I'm Matt Roof. I come here every weekday morning, 7:30 a.m. Eastern, to help you get up with a little hope, humanity, and heart to rise above more high fives and less rage. All right. After a week like the one I described yesterday, headwinds, small hits, constant adjustments, something became very clear that resilience isn't external, it's internal. The conversations we have with ourselves matter more than we sometimes realize. There's a moment after difficulty where your own narrative starts to form, and the habits that you have created in your life of how you react to those moments of difficulty kick in. I know it did for me last week when I started talking to myself about being a failure, about not being worthy of certain things, right? This always happens to me. I'm behind. I should have figured this out by now. Maybe I'm not built for this. Those are the things that come in automatically for me. I think it happens for most too. But here's the thing, I'm realizing that those aren't fixed. You've got to push past those, listen to yourself through self-awareness, understanding that the conversations that you have inside your head are probably the most important conversations that you will have. Absolutely. Good morning, Roseanne Roof. Mother, I am glad you are here. I've learned to pause in those moments when I'm telling myself a story that isn't necessarily true, but it feels like it is. The story is helping me move, and I'm asking myself, is the story that I'm telling myself helping me to move forward, or is it holding me in place? And that's the self-awareness part that we talk about here on Kindness Rising every morning. Please get involved in the chat. Say hello. Tell us where you're from. Subscribe to the channel. I come here every day, 7:30 a.m. Eastern, every weekday, to help you rise with a little hope, humanity, and heart for sure. All right. So resilience starts with that language inside our head, shifting the story to shift our trajectory, moving from I failed to I'm adjusting, from I'm overwhelmed to I have to prioritize, from I can't handle this to all I have to do is take one step. I'm not talking about toxic positivity. I'm talking about intentional framing to build emotional stability. That is what resilience is all about. That's what we're talking about all week this week here on Kindness Rising. Stop. The system keeps telling me that we're not connected to LinkedIn. I'm sorry for my friends on LinkedIn. I hope that we can figure that out. sometime. But in the meantime, those of you out there on YouTube that are following, I appreciate that you've come here, and we're going to continue to talk about resilience and how we can overcome our own self-talk. Although I do want to tell a story. It's not really, it's resilience. It's hardcore resilience. But it's not really self-talk. So I say I'm going to talk about that. I'm not going to talk about it. I don't know. Anyway, there's a guy we all know who's living resilience. Lilith, hey, 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 welcome in. I am glad you are here. Subscribe to the channel. Get involved in the chat. Hey, Lilith, do you know Michael J. Fox? I think pretty much everybody does, right? Marty McFly, Alex Keaton, from the 80s and the 90s. And of course, his story centers around the resilience. I've been watching Michael's story of his Parkinson's evolve. It's really, really kind of a little bit sad for me to see that and to realize how fragile life is, but also what Michael J. Fox is doing in the face of this adversity, severe evolution of his Parkinson's disease. The diagnosis could have defined the narrative. It could have closed his doors, could have shut down, gone behind closed doors, and not and faded off into the sunset, with everyone having the memories of, hey, Doc, and whatever was that. That was terrible, terrible Back to the Future. But you know what I mean, right? We could have remembered him that way, but instead he's out there. He's put his challenges in the forefront to raise awareness, to reshape the story, not denying his reality, but choosing his purpose within it. Things that are out of his control, where he can find his purpose. He continues to work. He continues to advocate. If you go out there and check out his things, last summer was a big one because he was out on the circuit in like the Comic Cons and conventions of sci-fi and that kind of thing. Obviously, with his Back to the Future, and he and Christopher Lloyd were going out and doing appearances and signings and conversations, but making the conversations about Parkinson's and evolution, that was big. But I saw another one yesterday or the day before of him sitting down and having the conversation. Unfortunately, watching his deterioration makes me feel a little sad, but it also makes me feel inspired that despite that, he is out there. He is out there, putting himself out there. His condition's not disappearing, but his narrative is expanding. From limitation to contribution, he created a foundation. He's raising awareness. From loss of faculties and physical abilities to having impact. That's resilience, not controlling the circumstances, but shaping the meaning around them. And that's what we do every day here on Kindness Rising, as we get up and get after it together. 7:30 a.m. Eastern here on YouTube and LinkedIn, for sure. More high fives for humanity and less rage every single day. Weekdays. Weekends, I'm still working on Kindness Rising, thinking about it, but I'm not necessarily coming live every day. All right. Thank you. Lilith, I'm glad you've joined us. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Sully, Holroyd, I hope you guys are doing great this morning. Mom, Roseanne, good to see you again, too. I know knowing you're out there is helpful to me. It's helpful to me, for sure. Thank you. All right. Take a little sip of coffee. I got coffee, I got water, I got it all. I don't know what I'm doing. But seriously, self-talk. Whose voice do we hear the most? We hear our own voice in our head. And it's not necessarily what we say out loud to ourselves. I say that stuff out loud. I'm like, you freaking idiot, or why you're so stupid. Why'd you do that? Sometimes we say those things out loud, right? But most of the time, that's the inner dialogue, right? We're not standing in front of the mirror giving ourselves a pep talk, although I do that sometimes too. It's not motivational slogans, but self-talk is quieter than that. It's that inner dialogue, the thoughts that are running underneath our awareness. Sometimes they're constant, sometimes they're subtle, sometimes they're triggered by something, how we interpret. They show us how we're interpreting events, how we're seeing ourselves, how we're facing those challenges. And we have to make sure that that voice that's inside our head that's telling us these things is the voice that we want to follow. It's the narrative voice that either says I'm capable, or I'm behind, or this is manageable, or this is too much, or whatever the case may be. But the importance and what we talk about here and why I show up every day. Good morning, Spartacus. Great to see you. I'm glad you're here. Why I show up every day, it helps me to put myself in that positive frame of mind and to continue my self-awareness, because our thoughts influence our behaviors, our decisions, and our emotional resilience. And that idea, of course, isn't new. We've talked about it a couple of weeks ago when we focused on James Allen's works. I forgot to bring the book. I was going to show it again. But As a Man Thinketh, when he wrote that our thoughts shape our character and ultimately our experiences in life, his core message wasn't about pretending reality is different. It was about recognizing that our mind is creative and it generates the lens with which we see and act. If our internal dialogue leads towards fear, defeat, and limitation, our actions will follow that. But if it leans towards intention, perspective, and growth, our direction will change. It doesn't mean ignoring difficulty. It means recognizing that we have agency within ourselves and our perception to change the way we see things and change our behaviors. I understand, Spartacus. Thank you so much for joining when you can. Lilith, thank you so much. Hey, listen, I know 7:30 a.m. Eastern is tough. We got guys like Mike Sullivan out on the West Coast getting up with us at 4:30 a.m., but everybody's lives their lives and we get into our routine. I've actually considered doing a few lives that are outside of my regular schedule. Thank you, Spartacus. I appreciate you so much when you show up. It means a lot to me that even when you haven't been, people who haven't been with me, I'm here every day. You're going to find me if you want to be here. But for people to come back and see, I know that I'm providing value of some kind. You're willing to click on that it's somewhere along the line that my message, our conversation, whatever it may be, had an impact on you. And so I appreciate all every time you're able to come. So thanks, buddy. I really do, really do appreciate it. Beyond anything I can say. It feels trite to just say I appreciate it. Anyway, we're talking about that internal voice, that says, I can recover from this. I'll figure this out. This is temporary. Or is it saying, I'm stuck. This defines me. I'm a failure. There's no way forward. That's the difference between being able to move forward with growth and with humility and with kindness. Being able to be kind to ourselves and say, I'll figure this out. And that inner voice is where resilience begins or it stalls. That's it. I gotta shift. Well, I am glad that you have chosen to join me here at Kindness Rising this morning. If you're out there in the community, I see the numbers. I know there's people out there. Say hello. Get involved in the chat. Bring your positivity. Tell us where you're from. Ask your questions. Get a conversation going. Meet Adam Holroyd. Meet Mike Sullivan. Meet Spartacus. Meet Roseanne Roof. say hello. I love it when our communities connect. There she is. Roxy is God. No? You say no? Come on, buddy. Say yes. Say yes to Kindness Rising. Say yes to waking up with a little hope, humanity, and heart. And I am glad that you're here, even if you're resisting it. I'm just kidding. All right. Changing gears. Enough. Not enough, but I'm going to come back to it. But holy moly, I saw something and I had to. Oh, okay. That's a great idea, Roseanne. Mom, you can't stick around. You got to go take off. Come back to YouTube. Come back to the channel. I appreciate that. If you're watching this live, awesome. Get involved in the chat. If you're watching this after the fact, please subscribe to the channel. Come back and join me 7:30 a.m. Eastern every morning on the Mornings in the Lab Network. This is Kindness Rising. And we talk about things like James Allen and the inner dialogue that we have with ourselves. But what I really want to talk about is this thing I came across this morning. I always look, I talked about it yesterday. I'm looking at what was trending overnight, what's coming up, what are people talking about there in the world, because I want to be involved in things. And holy crap, talking about unexpected combinations, what's happening right now at McDonald's. I'm not a McDonald's fan. I can't even tell you the last time I was at McDonald's personally, but this was amazing to me. You got a Valentine's Day coming up. Well, they've got a promotion coming up for you. Check it out. I think they're going live with a partnership with a caviar company. Caviar and chicken nuggets. What an amazing, crazy combination, right? They're taking high-end sturgeon caviar, creme fraiche, and they even get a little traditional serving spoon, and they're giving you a gift card to buy chicken nuggets and have those things together. They're giving away several of them for free. You can go online and register and maybe win this free pairing of a $25 gift card for chicken nuggets, a 1 ounce can of caviar, and all this fancy stuff. But what I love about it, Spartacus, wow. What I love about it is the high-low pairing, right? A luxury ingredient meeting an everyday comfort food, right? It's pretty amazing, actually. Unexpected combinations are a great way to create buzz, excitement, curiosity. Absolutely, and I think this is a really kind of cool one. Playing off of the contrast, right? Of things. Just one unbelievable combination. Brilliant marketing for both the McDonald's and the caviar company. We can still have a bit of luxury inside of our basics. I think that's really cool. I'll be interested to see where that goes. Can you guys think of any other crazy high-low combinations or unexpected pairings that might be of interest to the community and might be mind-opening? I really enjoy that. All right, Just a Kid, thank you for joining. Just a Kid, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm glad you've chosen to spend whatever time you choose to spend here with us on Kindness Rising. Come on back every morning, 7:30 a.m. Eastern, here on YouTube and typically on LinkedIn. But for some reason today, our LinkedIn link is killing us. Spartacus, your mother's turning 90 on the 14th. Oh, Valentine's Day. Do you think she'd like chicken nuggets and caviar? I don't know. Mom, Roseanne Roof, you're out there. What? So true. He's inspiring and his wife has been loyal to him. Yeah, I think, Mom, I think you got confused. I think he's talking about Michael J. Fox, not me. But yeah, no. I love my daughter-in-law. Yes, yes. I think he's talking about Michael J. Fox. You're talking about Heather. That's okay. Tino Johnson, what's up? What's up? Welcome into Kindness Rising, your morning dose of hope, humanity, and heart, where we have high fives for humanity and rise above the rage bait of the day. Absolutely. And here's the Kindness Rising angle on the chicken and caviar, chicken and waffles. Now we have chicken and caviar. It isn't about resilience, I understand that, but I love what it represents, that creativity through contrast. And sometimes the most interesting outcomes come from pairings that don't make sense at first glance, right? Different perspectives, different disciplines, different personalities, different ideas, all those things. And that's where innovation happens. It lives outside of the obvious, right? I'm going to say think outside the box, even though that's like the most cliche thing right now in the world, probably for decades. Think outside the box, think outside the box. But it's true. It's true. It applies everywhere. Business partnerships, creative work, your personal growth, all those things. Open yourselves up to an unusual combination. What are you going to lean into today that maybe you haven't before to create momentum? Right, that familiarity never could. It's easy to fall back into your comfort zones, but why don't you go combine some chicken nuggets and caviar in your life today and see if it's creates something new for you. Absolutely. I think staying curious about contrast is a really interesting way to trigger creativity. That's something that sorry. You guys in the comments are getting me distracted. Anyway, we're talking about unusual combinations, curious contrasts. Absolutely. Oh, and I was saying, like, sometimes when I get thinking about things and I realize I'm going down a rabbit hole, or I'm getting that blinders, tunnel vision. That's the word I'm looking for. The term I'm looking for, tunnel vision. I will consciously, through self-awareness, say, all right, let's flip this thing on its head. Or if somebody gives me an idea and we like it, we go, okay, what if we turn it 180 degrees? What if up is down and down is up? How does that impact things? That's a way that I like to trigger my creativity. And sometimes we go back to what was the original thing, but you never know. Mom, you're a Big Mac? I never knew that about you. I don't think I have ever seen you eat McDonald's. I'm not sure. I can't remember. We're not a big fast food family, except for back in the day. Remember when I'm going to tell a cute story when Schmutz was our dog, our white dog that we thought was gray when we got him, and then gave him a bath. And his name is Schmutz. For those who are familiar with the Yiddish language, that means filth, dirt. That was our little white puppy when I was a kid. Dad and I would occasionally go do a quick McDonald's drive-through and get Schmutz a burger. Those are good memories for me. I will tell you that. Good memories for me, even when my father was appallingly embarrassing on purpose, but so funny. He would, I wouldn't say flirt, but definitely interact over the speaker in the drive-through or with the person at the window or whatever. I just have great memories of my father being lighthearted and kind of, it's not knocking people off their game. It's kind of keeping like, whoa, what did that guy just say? Not in an inappropriate way, but just non sequiturs and random connections and funny things. That's something that I have great memory. That's probably my most valid memory of McDonald's. That and the birthday parties from when I was a kid. Everybody remember those? The birthday parties, they'd bring out a cake, and then Ronald himself would show up. Even though I was fearful of clowns, I did have a few of those McDonald's birthdays. Yes, coffee and French fries, Mom. I do remember Bubby. That was her thing, right? It was like 99 cents for both the coffee and the French fries combined back then, maybe even less. She would go and get her little potatoes and her coffee, and yeah, absolutely. Me too, Spartacus. I'm not a fast food guy. I'm really not. There's there I actually usually feel gross after I have it. Probably the most recent fast food. I, I never had a Chick-fil-A. McRib is back. Is there any rib in McRib? Solly, is there any rib in McRib? I think not. I'm not sure. Um, but yeah, I had plenty of McRibs with the onions, and I'm gonna reveal this, and I'm gonna get back to the subject. But I do enjoy these kind of tangent offshoots that we get into that I didn't expect to. I'm remembering as a kid, we used to go as a high school kid, right, growing up, uh, go out with the guys. We would each go to McDonald's. I'm getting a little nauseous thinking about it right now. We would go to McDonald's and we would get a 20 pack of McNuggets and a large fries and our sauce of our choice, right? Dump it all together, do the old shake up. It was like the first shaker. I just remember 20 nuggets and fries. I always picked the honey mustard. Some people pick the barbecue. Whatever, shake it up. I can taste it right now as we're talking, which is crazy too. But anyway, $4 for a whole meal. Yeah. $18, Spartacus. It's $18 for a McDonald's meal now. That's insane. That's insane. I will not spend that money on that. Absolutely not. Although I will admit, I am looking forward to March. One a year. What am I talking about? One a year. The Shamrock Shake, of course. So I will have my Shamrock Shake come March because it's just a thing, and probably won't even eat the whole thing, but I will. That's okay. All right, let's switch back. Time is flying here. We've got a couple more minutes. I am going to thank you all, obviously, for starters. Thank you all for joining us. Absolutely. And here's our kindness compass for today, right? Because I do like to give a little bit of practical, a little bit of an idea, tip, something to walk away with. Notice your narrative. Pay attention to that internal language because awareness creates choice. When you're aware of something, then you can choose. I want to keep going down this path, or maybe I want to try a 180 on it. Remember to edit, but not erase your thoughts. You don't have to deny the difficulty, but you can just frame it differently. And lastly, take a step. Resilience isn't built through grand gestures. It grows through forward motion, momentum, action. One step counts, whatever small step it is. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining me here on Kindness Rising, as I do every day, 7:30 a.m. Eastern on YouTube and LinkedIn. I appreciate you. I appreciate you, Spartacus. Yep, I wouldn't say legendary, not quite yet, but I'm getting up and getting after it every day. We are on 157 straight weekdays that I have shown up here 7:30 a.m. Eastern. But who's counting? I'm not really counting. I just plan to keep showing up. So thank you again. Remember this: resilience isn't just surviving hardship, it's shaping the story around it. And while you may not control what happens, we can influence how we interpret it and how we respond. Let's do this today. Let's be intentional with our internal dialogue, giving ourselves perspective and offering ourselves the best gift we can, which is kindness. The story you tell yourself today will become the direction that you walk tomorrow. So now let's get on over to Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and friends. They're starting right now at 8 o'clock. I'll be back here tomorrow morning, 7:30 a.m. Eastern. I'm Matt Roof. Thank you for starting your day here Come on back 7:30 a.m. tomorrow. And until then, stay uncommon and stay kind.
Okay, Matt, we got the memo about the Kindness Rising promo, but what exactly are we promising people?
And is there craft services? Hey, I need snacks too.
Gentlemen, focus. Kindness Rising multiplies kindness and helps people get up on the right side of the bed.
So wait, we're not doing another angry headline show.
Exactly. We rise above the negative, divisive noise.
Translation, less rage bait, more high fives for humanity. And this is live, like actually live.
Yep. We go live on YouTube and LinkedIn, 7:30 a.m. Eastern every weekday.
Wait, if it's live, what if I forget my lines?
Then you improvise.
Okay, so our tagline is basically wake up, tune in, and start your day with kindness.
Exactly. Kindness Rising. Good vibes, practical tips, and a reason to get up on the right side of the bed.
You heard the boss. Subscribe now before he makes us do a TikTok dance.
Kindness Rising. Wake up, tune in, and let's make some good noise.